In the silence before creation, philosophers asked the oldest question: why is there something rather than nothing? 1,000 years ago in Baghdad, scholars of Kalam, the science of reasoning, believed the universe had a starting point, not an endless loop, but a deliberate beginning. They challenged Aristotle's eternal cosmos with logic sharper than any sword. If time itself began, there must be a cause beyond time. Today, that question still echoes through telescopes and equations. What came before the beginning? In the 9th century, scholars gathered at the House of Wisdom. Translating Greek texts, they fused reason with revelation. Al-Kindi argued, an actual infinite past is impossible. Time must have a first moment. Al-Farabi mapped logic like geometry. Al-Ghazali struck hardest. The universe began to exist, therefore it was caused. From ink and parchment, a revolution of thought began, one that would travel across centuries to modern science. 1. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. 2. The universe began to exist. 3. Therefore, the universe has a cause. Elegant, terrifying, unavoidable. If time, matter, and space once didn't exist, something beyond them must have chosen to make them real. That's the heart of the Kalam Cosmological Argument, 3 lines that split the history of thought in two. Aristotle taught that the universe had no start, it simply was. Al-Ghazali disagreed. If the past were infinite, today would never arrive. Infinity belongs to numbers, not to time. The two visions clashed. Eternal motion versus divine creation. And from that clash, philosophy learned something vital. Reason can defend faith, not just doubt it. In 1929, Edwin Hubble saw galaxies racing away. Space itself was stretching, meaning everything once converged to a single point, the Big Bang. Time and matter had a beginning. Suddenly, the ancient Kalam idea looked prophetic. Physics had found creations, whatever caused the universe can't be made of matter or trapped in time. It must be timeless, spaceless, unimaginably powerful, and able to choose. Forces don't choose, minds do. The Kalam points not to chaos, but to will. A decision, let there be a universe. In the 1980s, philosopher William Lane Craig revived the Kalam argument. Armed with Big Bang data and logic, he debated scientists across the world. Craig called Al-Ghazali his teacher. The medieval pen now spoke through microphones, the East teaching the West that reason still points upward. Imagine counting backward from infinity. You'd never start, let alone reach zero. That's Al-Ghazali's point. An infinite past is impossible. The universe can't have crossed an endless chain of yesterdays to arrive at today. Therefore, time itself began, and beginnings demand causes. Critics say particles sometimes pop in and out of existence, but even quantum events arise from laws, fields, and energy, not from nothing. Nothing, by definition, has no properties, no potential, no law. So the question stands. From nothing, nothing comes. The Kalam doesn't demand belief. It invites reflection. It bridges faith and science, showing that reason itself points toward purpose. Whether you call the first cause God, the one, or the unknown, the argument reminds us we live in a created story, a story that began with a cause. Some physicists propose infinite universes, new ones bubbling from old ones. But if every bubble still relies on deeper laws or quantum fields, the question returns, why those laws at all? The multiverse might expand the mystery, not erase it. Even an infinity of universes can't explain why there's something rather than nothing. Critics argue the first premise assumes causality works outside time, which we've never observed. Others say we can't apply everyday logic to the origin of the cosmos. Maybe the universe just exists, brute fact, no cause. Yet that answer feels hollow. For many thinkers, asking why remains irresistible. If everything needs a cause, who caused God? That sounds like a knockout question, but it misunderstands the argument. The Kalam never said everything has a cause. It said, whatever begins to exist has a cause. The universe began, God did not. Al-Ghazali explained that existence can't rest on an infinite chain of causes. It must stop at something necessary, a being that simply is. Ibn Sina called it the necessary existence. In Islam, Allah is Allah the First, before whom nothing existed. Time itself began with creation. Asking who created God is like asking what's north of the North Pole. The question destroys itself. So the universe needs a cause, but the cause of the universe needs none. So after hearing all of this, let us know what you think.